The switch and case structure is an alternative to the if-else and else-if structure. It is often used when a series of programming path options exists for a given variable depending on its value. But compared to the if-else and else-if structure, the code for switch and case is easier to read. This structure will allow you to choose between the multiple outcomes. The outcomes must be based on some criteria which must be exactly true. The criteria that you set can either be a scalar, which is a number, or a string. In practice, it is used more with strings than with numbers. This is the structure of a switch and case. So you will start with the switch word, followed by the variable, and then we type case option. The case option can be up to n option. So for example, for the first option, case option 1, following that option 1 case is the code that will be executed if variable is equal to option 1. So you can see here, for the switch and case structure, you only set the criteria for the true comparison. And finally, if let's say in the if else and else if, we have the else structure, which is the criteria if all the other comparisons is false. So in switch and case, we use otherwise. So otherwise, following otherwise is the code that MATLAB will execute if the variable is not equal. Okay, so for the case, all the case options, we include the code if the comparison is true. Meanwhile, for the otherwise, we insert the MATLAB code that will be executed if the comparison is false. And finally, you end the switch and case structure with the AND keyword. Let's look at this example. Suppose you want to determine what the airfare is to one of the three cities. Okay, so this is the structure of the switch and case. So here, city is the variable name. So the variable name, okay, will be supplied. The input for the variable name city will be provided using this input command. Okay, and then we want to use the switch case structure. So you start with the word switch, and then this is for case option. So here we have three case options. So for the option 1 is case Boston, case Denver, and Honolulu. These are all the three cities that we want to display the airfare price is. Okay, and if let's say the user input cities other than these three cities, so MATLAB will display the otherwise portion of the switch and case structure code. And make sure you add the switch and case structure with this AND word. Okay, so inside the MATLAB, click new script. So insert description or comments. This is for switch and case. And first we define variable city. So we will be supplied using the input command. Switch city. And then type the first case. So the first case is Boston. So because the first we are using the string type of data, so you have to enclose it in between the quote signs. Following the Boston case is the code that we want MATLAB to execute, so display the price. And then we type for the second case, which is Denver, display 150, and the third case is Honolulu, display 1. And otherwise, when all the comparison is false, display not on file. And then we run this code. Okay, make sure to enter the name of the city in single quote. Okay, make sure to test your code with all the 3 cities, so you have to click the run 3 times. Final check. Okay, we do this to make sure that our code that we write is working. Then we check the otherwise portion, choose city that was not included. Okay, you can tell the input command. Okay, right now we enter our city input in between the single quotes, but you can tell input command to expect a string by adding the s, okay, the s in a second field. So now I will modify our input command here, comma s. Then I will run again, and now we can type the name of the city without having to add single quotes around the string input. Let's try it again. Run, and then you just type the name of the city. Okay, so you can try for all the 3 different cities. Make sure you spell the name of the city correctly, otherwise it will display the not on file statement. Okay, the last selection structure that we are going to learn is this menu function. It is often used in conjunction with the switch and case structure. Menu function will cause a menu box to appear on the screen with a series of buttons defined by the programmer. So this is the syntax of the menu function. Unlike the switch and case structure, the input for the menu function is controlled by the menu box, so user cannot accidentally enter a bad choice. So it means that you do not need the otherwise portion of the switch case structure for the menu function to work. So let's use the previous airfare example to ensure that the user chooses only cities that we have the information about the airfare. So this also means that we do not need the otherwise syntax, since it is not possible to choose a city that is not on file. Now this is the code for the FR example that use the menu function. So let's head to our MATLAB. Okay, so here we will define our city variable first. Menu, open bracket. So this is what the message to the user will be. So once this program is run, this message will appear inside the menu box. So select a city from the menu. So these are the options. Okay, this is the title, the message title, and following the message title you put comma in between, followed by the option. Okay, options of the menu. So the first one is Boston, second one will be Denver, and the final one is Honolulu. Okay, next we will use switch city, and then this is similar to the switch structure, except we do not insert the otherwise function. So I just copy from the previous example and then type N. Let's try run this section. So when you click run, this menu box will appear. Okay, this menu box will appear on your screen. So you just have to select any of the one of these three options. Let's say you choose the Denver. Okay, and then you can try again. Choose Boston this time. Okay, I have to adjust here instead of Boston because we are using the menu, so it would be case 1, 2 and 3. Okay, run it again. And then choose Denver. Okay, so command window will display the airfare for to the Denver city. Alright, so that's all for this chapter.